Hi guys, it's Emma.
And Maggie.
And welcome back to another episode of Love You Bye.
Today we're going to talk a lot about a topic that is really important to us, and that is mental health and wellness. And we're going to get into dealing with seasonal changes, self-confidence, and comparison culture in the age of social media, and how to check in and talk about how you feel with others, including some more personal parts of our own life.
But first, we're going to start off with our peak and pit of the week. This is our weekly tradition where we share the highest and lowest moments that happened to us this week.
Do you want to go first?
No.
Okay, well, I'll go first then. So, my peak of the week is that, honestly, I've just been feeling really good about my workout routine because I kind of fell off in 2022. I feel like I was going to the gym and working out so much in the years prior, and then last year I just completely fell off.
Well, it's not that you fell off.
Yeah, I didn't work out for 9 months.
It's okay.
No, I know that. Yeah, I took a break because I got into a new relationship, and when you get into a new relationship and you're just with them all the time, your whole entire schedule changes. Your sleep schedule changes, your workout schedule changes, and it was just an adjustment. But now I feel like I've gotten back into a really good workout routine, and I've been going to the gym so much, and I've just been moving my body a lot more than I used to, and it makes me really happy. My pit is that oh my God, I had a really bad night on Friday. This past Friday, It was a full moon, and I was just feeling so anxious and sad, and it was really snowy and just cold, and it made me...
It was snowing here?
Yeah, I was just sad.
I was in Dallas, wasn't I? No,
The day
I
you
just
came
got home.
But I don't know, I just felt sad that night. I don't know why. And it was literally because of the full moon. I really get affected so much. As crazy as that sounds, I get affected by the full moons.
I used to, but
And
for some
Mercury
reason,
retrograde.
this time around, I haven't been affected.
Because you're healed.
So what is that saying?
It's saying that you just don't have anything coming up.
No, but I'm
any
saying,
emotions. What does it say about me?
Yeah.
Well, I just think that I am just in tune.
Okay.
I don't know. I was just feeling it. Also, I was on my period, so it was a bunch of different things at once. So that was just probably the lowest point of my week.
My pit would have to be, this isn't necessarily a pit because I'm not mad about it, but my sleep schedule is a little bit messed up right now. I haven't really been sleeping. Last night I got a good 4 hours of sleep. Night before I didn't get that much sleep, and the night before I literally just have not been sleeping that much at all. But not a bad thing, because it's like you just said, when you get into a new relationship, your sleep schedule gets messed up.
I know, and it's hard because you obviously aren't gonna be with your new man, and be gotta go to bed.
Yeah. No.
11 o'clock, I gotta go to sleep.
We're
no.
in the kitchen eating snacks at 4:30 in the morning.
But these are the memories that honestly you are gonna remember forever, and it's you're not gonna think about how much sleep you got.
Oh, for sure.
You're gonna be thinking about all the fun stuff you did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My peak would have to be that I am honestly at a really, it's funny that this episodes mental health and stuff like that. I noticed last month, even in December, I feel I was so busy that I couldn't even, I just kind of blocked out all of any problems I had. So I didn't think about being sad, but in November I was really sad.
Remember, we tried
all
to film
fall.
We tried to record this episode back in October or maybe beginning in November, and we couldn't get through it.
Yeah, because I just was so I can't talk about something if I'm not healed yet.
You felt triggered, and now you're in a really
and now
place.
I'm in a really good place, and I'm happy.
That makes me so happy.
Funny to say.
You deserve it. And it's your year. 2023 is your year.
Oh yeah, it is. Well, it is my year because my birthday this year, I'm turning 22, and it's on July 22nd. So that means it's my year.
It's your golden year.
My golden year.
This is your year. It's starting off really
good.
strong.
Yeah.
And you know what's really funny? Guess what number doubled equals 22?
Oh yeah.
Isn't that funny? You know that TikTok that's no matter where you are, everything is always connected.
Oh God.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, well, Okay, let's get on into the topic. We're going to start talking about dealing with seasonal changes to start off, because I'm not sure where everybody listening to this podcast is located, but a lot of our audience is from the Northeast.
Well, I know a lot of people in California do also struggle with this. I have one friend
Really?
that is really struggling with like it getting cold, but like
Okay,
it's
yeah.
still like the sun's not there like out long enough. It gets a little bit chilly right now. It's been raining for 2 weeks there. Everyone deals with it everywhere. It doesn't have to be frigid, but like
Okay.
it's not like you're laying on the beach unless you're in Miami.
Yeah. We're going to talk about dealing with seasonal changes.
Yeah.
Because I know that it's something that affects me a lot and affects you, Emma, and I feel like it's just important to talk about because there's just so much I feel like that comes along with like the sun going down really early and the weather changing and it being cold and gray and rainy and just like not sunny, because when it is sunny, I feel like I'm in such a better mood, and the sun just like that vitamin D literally just like makes you happier. I swear. So we're gonna get into that now that we're fully in the winter season and just talk about any personal experiences dealing with like mood changes, seasonal depression in the fall and winter, and just how that affects us. Like I know for me, once it hits like November, I swear I start to notice like such big changes because of the fact that it gets dark out so early.
For me, it hits me like mid to end of January because the worst months for me are February and March.
Really? Yeah.
Oh gosh, I do not like February. I'm like scared for those months. Like November and December, I feel like I'm way too busy and the holidays are so cheery, but what do you look forward to in Feb? I've never had a Valentine, so Valentine's Day is like miserable for me. So it just makes it even worse. Plus just like those are the coldest months here. It's so snowy.
Yeah, it is.
Long.
But February's the shortest month.
It feels long.
But it feels long. Okay, well, that's true. I also feel like when it gets to the point of it getting dark so early, like don't you sit in your house and you're just like, okay, it's 4 o'clock, like I need
Oh, it
to
feels
have
like the
dinner and
day's
go to bed.
over. Yeah, the day's over and I want to go to bed.
I get stressed out because I feel like I don't have enough hours in the day, because it
So
gets
you
so
have
dark
to-
out.
You have to wake up early, try to get all your work done before the sun goes down. Because a lot of our work, we have to have natural lighting. We can't have artificial lighting. Mm-hmm. It doesn't always work that way for photos, for video recording, like stuff like that. It's great to edit and stuff like that at night, but
Yeah, but for filming, it's hard because like you have to get your filming in while the sun's up, but also like I need to go to the gym. I need to like get coffee. I need to eat.
But
Like,
what's
you know what I
really
mean?
hard with that is like on top of doing everything that you have to do, the motivation that goes into that and like bringing yourself to go outside, go to
Yeah.
the gym, like
On days that
get
you
up
don't
when
want
it's
to.
really cold, or like go to the gym when it's even dark outside. Like sometimes I don't have time to go to the gym in the morning, so then I have to go at night, but then it's cold at night. So I don't want to like get out and like go walk to the gym in the city. You have to walk everywhere.
I know. I think like really the most important thing with dealing with season changes and just all of these things this time of year, like you just said, when you don't want to do something, I think what's most important is your discipline and like keep trying as hard as you can to like keep discipline, because when you don't want to do a workout, say it's like too cold out, too dark, like you're not in the mood, you're not motivated, but you push yourself and like you get to the gym and you do it, I swear those are the workouts that have the most impact on you, because you like didn't want to go in the first place and then you went, and it's going to help your mood so much more.
And you also have to kind of make it really enjoyable and like kind of switch up your routine almost, because I feel like if you do the same thing all the time, you're gonna just drag your feet.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
agree.
like
And
going
it's
to
just
like a
gonna
good
get
workout
boring.
class with your friends, or like doing an at-home workout too. Like you can like roll out a mat and do yoga or Pilates, or like start doing more like hot yoga classes or hot Pilates classes
God.
and hot classes so that you're warm. The worst is going to a cold workout.
Yes. Yesterday, Mike, my trainer, put the heat up in the gym so high when I was working out, and it felt so good. It was like 75 degrees, which is like hot for when you're lifting, you know? I mean, it's not like it's 90, but it felt so good, and like my body was warm, and it made my workout so much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
But I love that. I agree that like turning the heat up in your apartment and then just like rolling out a mat and even doing like a 15 or 30 minute Pilates workout just makes you feel so much better. I feel like that's something that I've been doing a lot recently that has made me has really helped my mood.
Also, for me, that's really helped is making my space that I'm in really cozy. Because if it's not cozy and I come home and I feel cold and just not cozy at all, like I won't be happy, you know?
And now a quick break from the show to hear from our sponsors at Kickoff.
Hey, it's Emma. Hope you've been enjoying our podcast. If you haven't noticed, we discuss a lot of first steps in life on our podcast, whether it's moving into a new apartment, starting at a new school, or even getting a new car. Taking this next step in life can sometimes feel scary. That is why the first step in making big changes is to have a healthy credit score. Kickoff can help you take control of your credit so that your score doesn't get in the way of your goals.
That's so true, Emma. We know life isn't always easy, but it can be made easier. If you're looking for a boost to live the life you want, Kickoff helps build your credit score so you can be on your way to getting that amazing car or new apartment. You can apply within minutes with no credit check, no hidden fees, and no interest. Plans start at just $5 a month, and you can even set it to auto pay so you can build credit without even thinking about it.
With a 4.9 out of 5 rating in the App Store and over 44,000 rave reviews, you can definitely trust Kickoff to help you get ahead. So what are you waiting for? Apply right now in minutes at kickoff.com to start building better credit. That's KIKOFF.com to build your credit score without the lift. Start today at kickoff.com. Now back to the show.
A lot of the things that you do in your apartment like make it super, super cozy. Like you have so many candles, I feel like always.
And like
also,
I'll like make tea before bed and like make sure my bed is as cozy it can be, or like reading.
yeah, and having dim lights. I swear just the dim lights really help me.
Same.
Okay, also going along with dealing with seasonal changes and just like how it makes you feel and stuff, I feel like it's so common for people to feel like they're in a slump after the holidays because like you were just saying, Emma, November and December are super busy with the holidays. It's so go, go, go. Like it's the end of the year. There's a lot of holiday parties. People are on vacation from work. Like you're hanging out with your friends that are home from college. If you're in college, you're on break. And I feel like there's just really like no time to think about being sad about the seasons. But then I swear it gets to the end of December and like you start prepping for the new year and like you make your goals. You think about the year that just passed. You do a lot of reflecting. And then it's like New Year's Eve comes, you celebrate, blah, blah, blah. You wake up New Year's Day and it's like, oh my God. Like I don't know about you, but this past week, the first week of January, I always feel so out of place and I feel almost like lost.
I feel like I used to feel that way, but for me this year, I've tried to not put a lot of pressure on myself because putting too much pressure on yourself creates more stress.
I feel like it's not even pressure that I'm putting on myself. It's just like the in-between time between the holidays and like the new year starting. I just feel like just it's a weird time. I don't know why. Like I just don't feel, I don't know, I just almost feel like tired from like the whole year. You know what I mean? Like I'm like tired from December.
So that's why you gotta like set out time to just like rest and relax.
I have been.
No, I know, but I'm just saying like if you feel that way, that's like your body, you just gotta like let your body just like chill.
I know. But then I feel like I'm not doing anything.
At the end of the day, during things like this, like seasonal changes, and like you have to really set out time to make sure that you deep down are okay, or else that's what makes it really, really hard. Because in the past, the times that I like was always so hard on myself that I had to do all that type of stuff, like I was the saddest. But this year, I feel like the biggest change I've noticed is like not putting too much on my plate, letting myself rest if I need to rest, giving myself a week of just between, like the week between end of Christmas and New Year's, I didn't do any work.
You just were more graceful with yourself.
It really helps in the end.
I love
so
that.
not putting too much pressure on yourself is another thing that'll help during the season changes, because again, like you think wintertime, okay, like gotta start doing this and doing that and January 1st and gotta get all my goals in and blah, blah, blah. But
And I think a lot of the time, well, I actually have been seeing so many posts about this on TikTok about working smarter, not harder.
yes, this is what I talk about with my therapist. Like she knows that I would tell her all the time about how I am as a person. She's like, just relax. Like you don't need to be putting so much on your own plate, because that's just gonna make me like, I used to put so much on my plate to the point where there will be days where I literally am like, I can't do anything because I'm so overworked. That's what makes you not even want to keep going, is the burnout.
I know. So yeah, I definitely think it is important to just set out time to do things for yourself. Like right now, I really like going in the sauna, and I love like going to the gym right now. I'm like so into it, just like putting my headphones on and like listening to music and walking on the treadmill and then doing like a little Pilates flow, sitting in the sauna and then like showering and going home. I feel so relaxed. It's all about just like finding those things that make you feel good
That's what you have to do.
to help get through this hard seasons of life. But the good thing is that it comes and goes, and there's just just such like a beauty in the changes, because it is gonna come back around where it's like light out earlier and it's gonna start getting warmer, and then we're gonna be tan again, and just life is gonna be,
you're in the sun every single day.
yeah. I feel like that's like one of the most exciting things about living somewhere where there's all 4 seasons. You get to experience all of it, like the highs and the lows. Okay, moving on to the next topic. I think it's really important to talk about self-confidence and comparison culture in like with social media now, because I feel like, honestly, I feel like with TikTok, social media has changed so much over the past few years, and it's really easy to get on the app and just like start scrolling and you see so much content all at once, because obviously there's such short videos. It's almost like an overload of content. You see just people on your For You page, like beautiful young girls, and I feel like it can be easy to like start comparing yourself to other people, not even like looks wise, just like personal and professional achievements, and just like comparing your life to other people's lives based on social media. And I think it's just like an important thing to talk about, since social media is so popular and like it's not going anywhere anytime soon. But I really think that it's important to realize that you are so unique. Like everybody is just, as an individual person, is so unique and different, and to take a step back and kind of like embrace your individuality and realize that like you have so much to offer, like just by being you know what I mean? Like picture going on social media and going on TikTok, and you know when people are trying to copy somebody else. Like for example, Alex Earl is so popular on TikTok right now, and you know when you go on your For You page and you see somebody doing like the Get Ready With Me, and they almost like have the same mannerisms as her, like talk the same as her, do the same thing, but it's like just because that works for her doesn't mean that you have to be exactly like her in order for yourself to be successful, you know? Like just being you and being unique and different, I feel like would get you so much further than like trying to copy somebody else.
For sure. And also another thing is for the social media aspect and like what you see on social media, and like trying to not compare yourself to what you're seeing. A lot of what's on social media isn't real. Like with people, what I've noticed becoming friends with people in the industry, like when we started, I was just like I have met people who are like, you don't edit your photos? And I'm like, no, because like I'm real, you know? And they're like, what do you mean? Like I have to literally like completely transform the way that they look to post online. Then that sets out a fake false reality for the people that are following you. So then what if a very young girl looks at your like someone's photos and is like, I wish I looked like her, but that's not even real, you know? So it's like you have to take everything that's posted online with a grain of salt if it's like a looks wise type thing, you know? And like a lot of like models that people look up to, they obviously aren't going to tell like the work that they get done. No one's going to talk about it. So it's like you have to really, 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 really take it very, very, very lightly.
Yeah, and I think also is really just about, at the end of the day, like who you are as a person. Also, I feel like I've met people in the industry that are just so different than what they post online, like not in a bad way, meaning like I meet them and I'm like, oh my God, I don't like them. Like I think that I've seen people's content and then met them in real life, and it makes me like them more, you know? Just because like when you turn the camera off and you're just like living your life and you're you, I swear there's just like no pressure. Like it's almost weird to explain social media. It like messes with your head so much, because back when I started, I know like my voice wasn't even the same in my vlogs. Like I swear I had like a fake voice. And like if you set up a camera and you start like talking to it and like filming yourself, I swear people try to like act like someone that they're not. You know, social media as a whole is definitely, it's a great thing. Like don't get me wrong, I'm so grateful to do what we do, but it's also, you need to take a step back and just realize that it's not real life. And everybody also in life goes at their own pace. You're never going to be in a situation in your life where you are behind. Like I truly believe that you're on the path that you're supposed to be on, and like there's no mistakes. Like everything that's meant for you will be, you know, and like it'll come in your life at the time that it's meant. And there's actually a lyric to a song that I've been listening to recently. I think it's a Justin Bieber song, and I forget how it goes, but I think it's like, I don't know, but he talks about just like not trying to open the door before it's open type thing, you know, where it's like you can obviously see other people on social media, and like it doesn't have to be an influencer. Also, it could be just like somebody that you know,
Yeah.
just like posting things about their life, like say like a new job or like they got engaged, they had a kid. And if you feel like you're behind and you're like comparing your life to theirs, like you just need to realize that you're on the right track.
And you're on your own path.
Yes, and you're on your own path.
We're all not gonna live life the same way, and everyone my age is gonna get married at the same exact time and like have babies at the same time. Like, it's not like that, simply at all. You're not gonna be on the same path as your friends. We're not gonna be on the same path even though we're sisters.
Even for me, like a lot of my friends have started to like, well, I mean, my best friend is literally married with a baby.
Yeah.
You know, like just lives a completely different life than me. And I feel like obviously I see my friends like going through stuff like that, like getting engaged, being married, having kids, and like I want to have a family of my own so bad, but I know that I'm just not at that point in my life yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean.
So I'm just like chilling. And I
gotta,
know
like-
that it's gonna come to me when the time is right. Like if I had a kid right now, no. Like I
No.
couldn't have a child right now. My life is just not made for that. Like I'm living in Boston. I still am like so young and like I'm on my own path. And that's okay, you know? Just because other people around me are doing it doesn't mean that I need to do it. Do you have any advice for people who sometimes lose self-confidence and compare themselves to others when they go on social media? Like, what would be your biggest piece of advice for somebody listening?
Oh, if they're comparing themselves on social media, I would say to limit
Who you follow?
not even who you follow, but just like what you engage in. Like scrolling on TikTok sometimes, like I even find myself seeing like girls on TikTok that literally like look really, really, really good. And I'm like, how do they look like that all the time? But you
I
have to also
know.
remember like that's like a
Sometimes-
3-second video out of everyone's day, you know? Like that's not how people look all the time. Like
It makes me even feel pressured, like that I need to put on a full face of makeup every morning.
for sure, I agree. But also, it's just not real life.
Embracing yourself and your authenticity and just being you and just appreciating the way that you were created and just like your own beauty.
But definitely limiting screen time and finding other things to do other than scrolling on TikTok. For example, getting up, going to the gym, walk on the treadmill. You don't have to scroll on TikTok. Like you can do something else while you're doing that, listening to music, going on a walk outside, reading a book, or like hanging out with people. I feel like lately I've been so busy like spending time with others that I haven't even been on TikTok. I haven't gone on my phone in so long.
There really is so much more to life like when you put the phone down.
Oh, 100%. But I feel like it's so hard to, because obviously everyone this day and age is so addicted to our phones, and our attention spans are so short now with TikTok that it's so easy to scroll and go to the next video. Next thing you know, you've been on for 2 hours. And if you look back, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I've been scrolling on TikTok for 2 hours, and you kind of feel like shit.
I'm such a YouTube girl. Like, I don't know what it is, but like I, for some reason, have struggled so much to like even get myself to post a lot on TikTok because I just like love YouTube so much more. Like sitting down at the end of the night, like all cozy showered. I have like my subscriptions. If someone that I follow or am subscribed to posts a new video, I'll watch their 20-minute video, shut the TV off. You know what I mean? And I feel like I get so much more value out of that type of content because you get to know that person. And like on YouTube, I follow people because their videos like make me feel good, make me feel inspired in my life, where I just feel like you do have to also focus on like who you're following and like the content you're consuming, because that is just one of the most important things. You know how they say like you are the 5 people you surround yourself with? You also are the content that you consume.
You are, yeah. Oh my gosh. It's like if you're watching the news every day, you're going to be stressed out every day because the news is just like, they tell you everything bad that's going on.
And like watching true crime documentaries.
Oh my gosh.
Like just stuff like that, you may not realize like how much it does affect you.
Yes, completely. You really just have to protect your peace.
Protect your peace.
Please protect your peace.
PSA, everybody, for 2023, protect your peace.
PPP. Protect. Wait.
PYP. Protect your peace.
Protect your peace.
And on that note, we're going to throw a curveball right now.
Yeah, major.
Talk about something that has to...
This is something that we've gone through that is, I mean, so many people go through this, and
It's just something that we've never really talked about.
we've never talked about it openly, but I know so many people who have gone through this, and it's something that this type of subject is really hard to talk about because everyone's experience is different, but it's also a very, very, very traumatic experience to go through because it affects your life a lot when you get older, I feel. Or
Yeah,
like in the
and
future.
We are going to talk about just our feelings and our parents' divorce, since this episode's about mental health. I feel like that is something that like really affected my mental health, like when it happened. And like this has nothing to do with our mom and our dad, like put that situation aside. It's like just how it affected us. And Emma and I, our parents got divorced when we were, well, I was 21. And how old were you?
16.
And I experienced my first panic attack and I had anxiety. I'll never forget. I was driving back home to the Cape. I had just finished my last final for college and I was on the highway and I had a rental car. What happened to my car? Why didn't I have my car? Because I had a Jetta at the time, but where was my Jetta? Why did I have that blue car? Remember Blueberry?
Didn't you get hit by a Pepsi truck?
Oh yeah. Wait, no. I don't think that it's when it got hit by a Pepsi truck.
No, Blueberry was the Audi. No, that was a BMW.
That was the BMW, but I had a Blueberry. It was a Hyundai Sonata, blue.
When?
In college.
Oh, I remember. No, didn't you trade it in because it smelled weird?
No, Emma, I swear. Okay, so anyway, POV, you're driving in a blue Hyundai Sonata. And I was on the Cape on the highway and it was like December. So the sun had just gone down at legit 4:00 and it wasn't even that late, but I just remember I was like driving along, almost home, got off the exit, and all of a sudden I'm like on the phone with my dad. I started to get so hot and I started to feel like I was about to pass out, like I couldn't breathe, and I was like staring at the road and it felt like I literally was about to pass out, and I had my first anxiety attack. And since then, like I got really scared to drive on the highway for I think like a year and a half. Like I was not okay, and it just like really traumatized me, because if you've ever had a panic attack while you're driving before, it's just one of the scariest things ever, and something that has helped me. Well, I know that the reason why I had one at the time was because of everything that we were going through. And now if I like ever get that feeling anymore, like when I'm driving, you actually taught me this, to do the thing where you like ground yourself. And do you want to explain it?
So basically, this is something that my therapist told me about. I've been going to therapy ever since I could even remember. Like I've never not had a therapist before. I've just struggled with anxiety my whole entire life, but the hardest time during my anxiety for like my mental health has been when I first started experiencing anxiety, which was, gosh, when I was in like maybe middle school, elementary school. And my therapist from years ago, she was like, do you know what grounding is? And I was like sitting there and I'm like probably like 8 years old. I'm like,
You're like,
no, like I have no idea what that is. And she's like, just picture yourself, like close out the world around you and think about where you are. You could be sitting in a chair and think about how that chair is touching the ground, and that like the foundation of the ground is on the earth. And how like your body just like is like literally on that chair, like your weight is just on that chair, and just like you just relax. You in the car, you're sitting on the cushion of the car or cushion of the chair's connected to the car is on the ground, the tires are touching the ground is part of the earth, like you're just like all in one place. But that brings you back to the present time, like that makes you be present. And the major thing with anxiety is like being present, because like being anxious is like worrying about either the past or the future. But like the only thing you can do is be present in that present moment. You can't think of anything else, because that's just gonna cause more anxious feelings.
Yeah, and I think also it's important to do like deep belly breaths. That's one thing that I started like doing back then, is breathing in through your nose, like, and then letting it out like a big sigh. It makes me feel so much better. And I just think moral of the story is that everybody at one point or another in life is going to deal with anxiety and get overwhelmed. And I just think mental health is something that I'm so glad that people talk about it a lot more now. I feel like it never really used to get talked about, but it's completely normal and you're not alone in feeling the way that you feel. I just think that it's very important to find people that you trust to talk to, and it doesn't have to be a family member or a friend. It could be, but also it could be like your therapist. I know when we were going through the stuff with mom and dad's divorce, like I, for some reason, like used to always talk to my ex-boyfriend's parents. Like I would always go to his house every single weekend, like, and we would hang out, and his parents just like made me feel so comforted and like safe that I would just talk to them about stuff.
For me, when I was going through our parents' divorce, I was alone. Like you and Mike were both moved out.
Yeah, I was
our
in
brother
college.
Mike. Maggie was at school. Mike was living in Boston, and I was living with my parents at the time. So I was the one who like, I mean, we all had our own experiences with it, but I feel like for me at least, like I had the thick of it because I was literally being like torn between the two of them. And I moved in with my best friend's family for a bit, and I was living with them because I genuinely just like could not handle being at home, even if it was like one parent was living at the home that I grew up in at a time. Like it was way too hard for me. I wouldn't even like talk to them about what was going on. Like I would cry to my best friend every single night for no reason, just cry. I have videos on my Snapchat of me just like bawling my eyes out.
I would do that too.
And I just don't know why I would cry, but it just like when the only love that you've seen your whole entire life for 28 years breaks up, and then you never, like, you almost are just kind of like your whole family is like broken. You just feel broken altogether. I would talk to her, but I wouldn't talk to her about how I felt. I would just like talk to her about how I was like sad. And I was like,
yes,
it was just like, I'm just so sad. And like, even though she like didn't give me any, like, she didn't give me any advice, but I didn't want an
She didn't need to even say anything. You just wanted to let it out and have someone there to listen and just support.
Her parents are obviously still together.
Yeah.
And being around like a family made me feel good. I also couldn't talk to you guys about how I was feeling because you guys were feeling the same exact way. So another thing I did was I had 2 therapists at this time.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, I had 2. So talking to them about it too helped a bit. But it's still such a hard thing to go through. And it still affects me to this day, like with relationships and stuff. But definitely talking to someone, and especially talking to someone like a therapist, a counselor, whatever it may be, because those people know how to, like, they literally go to school to like work with stuff like this.
Yeah.
And like you can talk to your friends and your family and stuff, but I also don't like putting pressure on my friends and family about how I feel, because I feel like I just don't want to be a burden at all.
Yeah, but also you're not a burden. Like, I want to explain this because I get the same exact way, and like I feel the same that you do, but it's not a burden. Like if you ever were to come to me and talk about how you feel, you know, it's never
I know.
I
I still talk to you about how I feel and stuff like that, but I was just saying, like, during that time, I felt like my world was literally falling apart to the point where it's like they can only do so much.
Yeah. I would do the same thing where I literally would be like, Tyler, I'm just so sad. I would just cry. And he just would just be there and like pet my head. Yeah. And I would just feel comforted.
Ella would like braid my hair. Like I remember I'd sit on the edge of her bed. We had 2 mattresses in one room, and we would sit on my mattress. Well, I'd sit on the ground and she would sit on my mattress and just braid my hair. And we would listen to this song Moo because it made me feel so much better.
Yeah, sometimes that's what all you need is just like a good cry and just somebody to like just be in the presence of somebody.
But definitely having a good support system and like friends around you that genuinely, like I did have one person, that this kid that I was like talking to at the time, he was like had no idea what it was like to have divorced parents. He had great family. Perfect.
Oh my God, he's like from the picture perfect family.
Which is okay, completely fine. But he wouldn't know what to say to me, and I would try to go to him about it, and he would just be like, sorry, like I literally, like he just did not care, you know? And that really obviously hurt, but I had the friends that did just like listen, and even if they had no idea what to say, they just would listen to me and just sit there and listen to me cry and sit with me while I cried. That's what meant the most to me. So having a really good core group of people around you helps a ton.
And ending off on this note, I just wanted to add a little quote that I really love, and it is, "This too shall pass." Because I just feel like no matter what you're dealing with, like I know that our parents' divorce was something that really affected us for a few years. It does pass and things do get better. And it just really takes time. And also there's like, as weird as this sounds, there's like a beauty in the pain that you're feeling, because you know that by going through all of that you're going through, you are healing and you're getting stronger. Yeah. And it's gonna literally bring you on this journey to becoming the person that you are today. Mm-hmm. And you're gonna look back at all the times where you were dealing and struggling with your mental health or struggling with something that went on in your life, and almost like appreciate going through that because of how much it taught you and how strong it made you.
Oh yeah. I feel like during that time I looked at it as like the worst time, like the worst thing that could ever go on in my life. But now I look back, and it happened right in the middle of basically started my sophomore year of high school. And I grew up so fast from that. And now I look back and I'm thankful that happened because of how fast I grew up. And now everyone's like, you act like you're so much older for your age. Like you were so very mature. And I'm like, I think it's because I grew up fast. Like a blessing comes out of every
Exactly. Every situation. I think that God in the universe, like whatever you believe in, will never give you more than you can handle. Well, and I also like the quote, everything happens for you, not to you. So just like looking at things from a different perspective, which I know that it's hard sometimes to like take yourself out of the situation and look at it from afar, but
even this whole episode's about perspective. Like you can't dwell on the fact that it's winter time and like you're all like, ugh, like obviously the winter sucks, but like you have to change your perspective and make it not that bad. Yeah, switch things up. Like I was dreading this winter and I'm kind of chilling, not gonna lie. Yeah, which is really weird.
Shift your perspective.
Yeah.
And we have some listener questions this week that were sent in by all of you guys, and we just want to answer some of them. So if you sent in any questions, thank you so much for sending them in.
We appreciate it a lot.
And let's get into it.
First question is, what is the best way to overcome anxiety and doubt?
I think the best way to overcome anxiety and doubt is grounding yourself. I really think grounding is so important. And also even just doing like a 5-minute meditation. If you go on YouTube and type in 5-minute meditation for grounding yourself, close your eyes, breathe and listen to that in the morning. A guided one helps so much. If you have not tried a guided meditation, there's so many on YouTube. I highly recommend doing that.
Or even like going on walks or reading or anything like that. Find something that you can just block your mind can just shut off for a little bit, because a lot of the time with anxiety, like it's just you sitting there overthinking every little possible thing, you know?
Yeah. Question number 2, advice on how to support your friend who is struggling and be a support system for somebody who is struggling. I love this question because you and I have both been in this situation where we literally just talked about, we've leaned on other people. Mm-hmm. Like I leaned on my boyfriend at the time and his family, and then you had Ella and her family. Mm-hmm. And I think that by us experiencing that, to just have that support system and going forward, it has taught me how to be like that supportive friend and like support people in my life that are struggling. Like I think that one thing that I try to do is just listen to say, if it's, for example, I'm going to use Emma as an example. If you come to me with something that's bothering you, and if I come to you with something that's bothering me, a lot of the time you ask me, you're like, do you want advice or do you just want me to listen? I think that that's a really important thing to ask your friend or whoever you're talking to that's dealing with something that's bothering them. Just asking them first if they want you to give advice or if they want you to just be a listener, because sometimes all that they want is just to vent and let it all out and just have you be there for them and like listen and tell them everything will be okay and your opinions and how you feel is valid, and just maybe give them a hug. Yeah. And if they want advice, you can give advice.
When I go to someone for advice, like I don't even want them to, not even advice, but like if I want to just like vent about something, I don't necessarily want them to give me an answer to my issues, but I want them to just like listen and like make me feel like I
am heard.
That's it. Like if you're just, I can be going on about everything, and then if you're just like, yeah, you're right. Like that's, yeah, good. That just makes me feel good, because then it's like, okay, cool. Like I feel better, you know? Mm-hmm. So you just got to be an open ear, but also ask, do you want me to give you advice or do you want to just vent?
Yeah, I think that that's important. I love that. Mm-hmm. How to not look at exercise as something you need to do. Question number 3. I love this.
I feel like for us, or at least for me, since we grew up playing sports, I've always looked at it as kind of like, it's just a part of life and routine at this point. How to not look at it as something like you need to do.
Honestly, for me, because I've been through a point in my life where I was looking at working out as something I needed to do. And if I didn't do it, I would like beat myself up over it. And I would be like so stressed out. But I think I just wasn't doing the right workouts.
So I was going to say, you just need to find the right thing to do, because after every single workout I do, I feel so happy and light, unless it's something I don't like doing. For me, when I used to lift, I used to feel like I used to walk away from lifting and I would feel like so tired and I would want to just go home and sleep. Every single time I would feel that way. So I feel like my body just like did not like that. But now if I like go on a walk on the treadmill or do Pilates, like I walk away genuinely so happy. Like my endorphins are so high. So it's just, you find what you like, and everyone's different.
Exactly, because some people are the opposite. And like if they lift, they walk away being or feeling so happy.
Going on a run. Sometimes people get like runner's high. Yes. I could never get runner's high. I hate running.
It's like you really need to try different things and find what works for you.
And trying different things though sometimes is scary.
You won't know until you try. Also, walking is a really good workout. Yeah, it may not seem like it is because you're just like walking, but
everyone has access to the outdoors.
Exactly. I personally have been loving walking. I do work out with my trainer once a week, and that's lifting. And I like to do that because it makes me feel strong, but I like to walk on the treadmill and I like to do mat Pilates for like 20 minutes. Yeah.
Good.
Last question.
Do you have any tips for maintaining a positive body image?
I do.
Okay.
I think that part of it is your workouts, like what we just talked about, doing a workout that is going to make you feel good, like walking and Pilates for you, make you feel so good and make you so confident in your body, you know? So I think that finding obviously workouts that make you feel good and not looking at exercise as something you need to do, that's going to make you feel a lot more confident in your body. And also just realizing that your body, no one looks the same, and to not compare yourself. And I think that everybody was created like so different and uniquely, and just to really embrace the way you were created. Because for years I hated how I had like a bigger butt and my legs were like muscular from hockey. Like I just hated that. I wanted to have like really skinny tiny legs, and my body's just like not built that way, and that's just not how I was created. You know what I mean? Like I would have to put so much effort into like being tiny like that and like having really small legs. And that's something that I didn't like for years, but then I started to embrace my strength and just like embrace the way that my body was, and started to realize that like how much your body does for you also.
I think for me, maintaining a positive body image is realizing that like everything that my body can do, everything that I like doing, and everything it allows me to do, like it allows me to go outside and go on a walk. It allows me to go surfing. It allows me to go swimming. It allows me to go on a hike. It allows me to hang out with my friends and laugh. It allows me to dance with my best friends. It allows me to sing. Like everything that it allows you to do, it makes you at the end of the day so happy. And also another thing that I think of for maintaining a positive body image, I've been saying this for years, and I just started to see it on TikTok like over the summer. People were also posting about it, and I was like, wait, like I've literally been saying this. When you look into the mirror and like if you catch yourself talking down on the way that you look or talking down on X, Y, and Z, just picture yourself as when you were younger, whether you're a boy or a girl. Like picture yourself as a little boy, picture yourself as a little girl, and picture saying that to her. That's the saddest thing in the whole entire world. Like I could never ever look at myself as a little girl and be like, ugh, like I wish you were this or wish you were that. Like
also, you know, when you hang out with people and like they say something negative about themselves and they're like, I'm so fat, or I look so ugly, or this and this, it's just like you look at them and you're like, wait, but you're not. I think people are so hard on themselves.
Everyone is so hard on themselves.
But moral of the story is that everybody is beautiful. Be confident in yourself because you're beautiful and amazing.
You only have one body, and
we have this one life, and
there's no point in doing anything to waste your life at all. Life is so fragile.
I really truly believe that what you say out loud manifests also.
100%. If you listen, this is something that I always say to my friends. If my friends are like, before we go out or like as we're getting ready, like, oh, my makeup looks so bad, my hair looks so bad, it's going to look bad if you say that. Like every single time I've ever said, oh, my hair kind of looks bad today, like it has looked bad that day. If you say like, damn, like maybe like I think it looks bad, like the other night I had to wear my hair up because my hair dryer broke. Long story short, like I couldn't dry my hair. I had to wear it in a ponytail, whatever. It's really hard to put my hair in a ponytail because I have extensions. And I was like, oh, my hair looks so bad in a ponytail. And then I literally was like checking it the whole time because I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel like my hair looks so bad. And then I was like, you know what? No, I'm changing my perspective and I'm saying, love a good high ponytail on my hair.
Ariana Grande, baby.
Yeah, it's long, it's blonde, it looks great. And then what did I do? I slayed.
You slayed the night away.
For sure.
Thank you all so much for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast, and you can listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you
get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow us on socials. Mine is Emma McDonald all across like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Me too, Maggie McDonald.
And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in.
Love you guys so much.
Love ya.
Bye.
Bye.